Hi, we had a small glitch there with OBS and YouTube having changed some settings. This morning I'm going to have a look at the crafting system. This is a new character. I went through and did some UI setup. I haven't set up my bars yet because I'm just going to do professions in this session. So on Alpha, we have a couple of NPCs here to help us. So the first one we have to talk to is Professor Instructor, who will train us in different professions. So on this character, I'm going to take skinning. We have to train in basic, and then we'll learn Alcazar. There's Alcazar skinning, and I'm going to learn leatherworking. So we will have a look at the profession windows. So we have a number of recipes here. We're going to just learn them all. So hide seeker hat. Well, it needs leatherworking 5. Alright, so we'll learn some stuff. So we have a couple of different NPCs here that will give us access to materials. So we will buy some materials. These NPCs will not be there on live, obviously. They are here. What's the difference between these? I don't know. I don't know why we have so many dawn threads and dusk threads. I don't know what the difference between dawn thread and dusk thread is. I suspect these are supposed to be quality 2 and quality 3. Let's get some leather. I am cheating a little in that I'm taking so we're getting a maximum of a stack here at the minute. Unless carapace, I'm going to take the rank 3 where the option exists. I may not need anywhere near this number, but it gives us a bunch of materials to work with. So let's have a look at what, okay, where are professions accessed from? That is new. General. It used to be that you accessed professions from your character panel, and it was one of the ones down there. But
my goods are of the highest quality. Till next we meet.
okay, we now have K as a keybind to get to professions. So we will take leatherworking and skinning. You need 25 to begin specialisation. So let's have a look at, I can make some wrists or some wrists. So let's make that got me to level 4. I need one more point in order to be able to learn the next recipe. So let's
What brings you here?
let's learn some more recipes. I can make some foot pads. So again, we have up to rank 5 available. We have the new concentration mechanic. So what's it missing? Artisan security. I wonder where that's pulled. Let's check out the other vendors. We have reagent Lady the Minotaur. Seems to be blacksmithing and jewel crafting materials.
Goodbye.
Got here. We have crafting orders.
May the stars guide you.
We have herbs. Alchemy and inscription, I presume.
Go in peace.
Interesting.
And security. Let's get 50 of those. What have we got? Bark of Omens, we might want some of those. So the Gnomish utility knife is a useful tool. It acts as a skinning knife, among other things. I don't believe you need a skinning knife anymore. You used to. A bunch of different crafting reagents here that presumably will be used What do we got? Nothing. That provides, does something awesome, not yet implemented. Does something awesome. Provides the following property. Your spells and abilities have a chance to deal damage or heal target. Frequency increased but poorly reduced per unique gem color socketed. Effectiveness of blasphemy. Secondary effects 50%. Whatever blasphemy does. Provides the following property. Overcharge your gems for 15 seconds, absorbing 50% of your maximum health, granting 16 of your secondary stats based on socketed gems. Once this effect expires, the affected stats reduce the remainder of combat. Risky. Provides the following property. Damaging a target has a chance to bless your weapon, increasing your highest secondary stat. The effect slowly fades over time. That's good. Provides you with the following property. Embrace the darkness, double the effects of your other Nerubian embellishment item, positive and negative. Dawn thread lining. Dusk thread lining. Delete me 37. Delete me 38. And then we have some missives. Does something awesome, does something awesome. Looks like none of those have the properties yet. I'm hoping that the person who is drilling over the fence is not audible. Got a bunch of older crafting materials in case you want to level some older professions. File of Nomi has cooking and we only have draconic cooking.
Always use fresh
And
ingredients.
fishing.
Don't forget to eat.
Alright, let's see if we can get any further now that we have so we've got concentration. We can apply concentration. Oh, I have 500 concentration. I can apply 1 if I look at it. Alright, and if I do that, we have the profession equipment slots at the top there. I should be able to put the hat I just crafted in one of the slots. Cannot be equipped. Why not? Class level 68. This item can't be equipped. Alright. What else can we make? Because I'm at 17. Let's make some, create one of each of these just to get the crafting bonus. So they're blue this time. We're getting First craft bonus. So I'm at 19. I'm not quite yet. Oh, I'm not quite yet at specializations. You need 25. So can I make a level 3 one of these? Yes, I can. Only leatherworking, so it knows that it's not skinning. It knows it's a skinning item. This item cannot be equipped. So we still have an error there. Alright. And we have some skin that I can collect. So let's go back to leatherworking. I'm now at level 20. So I'm going to talk to the trainer again and see if there are any new recipes I can learn. Send some of this to my druid. Maybe. Not for a high level. 319, 312. So ideally, I would want these to be higher level. Requires level 61. So they seem a bit low level for create one. Myco Bloom. So let's get some Myco Bloom. And the herbalist.
I have just the thing for you. May the eternal sun shine upon
That wasn't created either. No, let's create a mail item. So first time I created it, it was at the bottom there. It's now gone up quite a bit, but that gets me to level 27, which I can now unlock a specialization. So choose a specialization. Specializations we have are, there's 4 of them. Learned Leatherworker. Master your leatherworking fundamentals to increase your reagent efficiency, ability to concentrate, and general stitchwork and production process. Luxurious Leathers, specialise in crafting leather armour, increasing your ability to learn at a higher level. In addition, learn new patterns and ways to customise the armour you craft. Concrete Chitin, specialise in crafting mail armour, same as leather. Flawless Fortes, master techniques of Alcazar to craft a Kaz Algar to craft specialty items beyond that of standard armour. I'm going to go with Luxurious Leathers. Let's have a look. Ah, We have 8 points to spend. Plus 5. That needs 10 points. 10 points, so let's spend a few more points. We'll get a few more as we make some other stuff. So our two halves are shaped leather armor. Improve making shaped leather armor for chests, heads, shoulders, and wrists, gaining 1 skill point per point in this specialization. Which then has tunics, hoods, mantles, which are the shoulder pieces, and armbands, which are the wrists. And then this one is embroidered leather armor. Plus 1 skill point to chest, head, shoulders, and wrists. Kickers. That tooltip's incorrect, so that's feet, waist, hands, legs. So, embroidered leather armor tooltip is incorrect. Waist. Alright. See what recipes we can unlock. Notice that it's not spending concentration. Might send those through just to get appearances. Make some drums. So it's not spending concentration. Let's have a look. We've got another point there. What leatherworking can you learn now? What have we not created? So you can filter on has first craft bonus selects. See what we can make that has first craft bonus. So first craft will give us points to spend. Did that not create that? That one was created. That one wasn't, was it? equipped. So it was the gem cutter's apron that I couldn't craft, I think. Craft this item. Cast runs and no item created. Why not craft this item? Cast runs, but no item created. Be an alchemy item that was created. Send that to my druid. Missing Caribou Spectre Hive and Riding Sample. We'll buy some stuff for that in a minute. Is that created? No. We can learn some more recipes, and we're getting very close to learning everything that we can learn. Note that I'm already at rank 5 for the expected quality. So we're still only at rank at level 319 gear. So at the moment, the level of gear that it's making does not seem appropriate for the level character that would use it. 61, maybe. But they seem very low level for. So I'm just going to put a general note in at some point about crafted gear seems very low level. You would normally hope that the gear that's been crafted would be usable by the character that's crafting it. They may not have done a full professions pass yet, so we just want 2 new recipes. And some pants. So let's have a look at the specializations. So we can learn 1 more point. Not sure what these little boxes are for. Need to spend 10 points here to unlock a subspecialty. And we're now at the point that we can unlock a second. Let's have a look at this one. So, learn to craft specialty items from Kaz Algar. we have resourcefulness, choose a subspecialty of your choice, inspiration, subspecialty of your choice, resourcefulness, learn the final subspecialty plus inspiration. So the subspecialties are Arathian Armourer, +1 skill to armour, learn to craft Blessed Weapon Grip, whatever that is. Harness crafting style of the Nerubians, learn to craft Writhing Armour Banding, Beastly Bulwarks, learn to craft Weathered Stormfront Vest and Smouldering Pollen Halberg. So they're 2 chest pieces, the one will be leather, one will be mail. Unlock the secondary stat missive slot when crafting profession equipment, so that could be really important if you're going to make profession equipment. Unlock finishing reagent slot when crafting armor kits and reagents. So if you're going to make stuff for raid, that's possibly the one you would want. Alright. And I've made a bunch of stuff. Might send some to the other character just to have a look at the transmog. So we have, did I call my character? Send mail to Fellas Bene. And we're going to send 1 set of shoulders, 1 set of wrists, 1 set of hands, 1 waist, 1 pair of pants, 1 pair of boots, 1 hat, and 1 chest. So it will unlock the transmog at least. Let's send the other one as well. So what's the other set of gear? Hide Shaper. And the hat. The hat. Oh, they're skinning accessories. I've noticed that it's leaving gaps when I sort. So there's obviously something in cleanup that's not working on the first pass. Who are our other vendors, just so you can have a look? So we've got Vino the Second. Vino has what looks like jewel crafting materials. So we've got gems that are crafted. So you can have a look at the crafted gems. So we have Cubic Blasphemia. So if you noticed, it talked about blasphemy in one of the other items earlier. So we've got Blasphemia and then we've got Blasphemite. They seem to be the diamond equivalents. Then we've got emeralds, onyx, seems to be aligned with mastery. Emerald seems to be aligned with haste, so it's always going to give haste and then potentially haste with something else. Ruby is crit, sapphire is versatility. Amber is stamina. Then we have enchantments. Enchant ring, 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 ring. Weapons. So Authority of Air is beckons a protective wind to your aid, taking damage that absorbs. So it's a shield. Heals your closest allies. Radiant damage increases your primary stat. Authority of the Depths, what's that doing? Periodically inflicting shadow damage. And eventually becomes crushing darkness that instantly inflicts all remaining damage. What it doesn't say is whether it inflicts that remaining damage on you or the target. Lightning damage, split amongst all enemies hit. Adds versatility. Adds mastery. Adds haste. Adds crit strike. Adds speed to boots. Speed to boots. 10% for mounted speed. Swiftness to you. Tenacity. Adds stamina. Chest enchant. Agility and speed. Int and mana. Int to chest. What's the difference between those two? That adds 111 int plus mana pool. That just adds 150 int. So that's probably the healer one, and that's probably the DPS one. Strength stam. Deftness by 40. I never know what deftness actually does. Finesse by 40. Ingenuity by 40. So they're enchanting, crafting tools. Crafting tools. Racer enchant. What have we got? Avoidance, that's tank. Leech, possibly also tank. Speed, probably everyone else. Cloak, avoidance, tank. Cloak, leech, tank. Or DPS, it gets hit a lot. Speed of... gives you speed and reduces the cooldown of your Hearthstone. I'm going to send one of those to my alt. Daybreak spell thread, sunset spell thread, weavecloth spell thread. And we have some armor kits. And those armor kits are adding agility or strength, so they're for melee characters. Tanks or DPS. A whole lot of alchemy stuff. One thing I did find on this that was kind of interesting is towards the back is these glyphs. So there's a bunch of new appearance glyphs. They might be new, they might be old, I'm not sure. I don't recognise this one as a druid one, but it might be. Cliff of the Forest Path. Dash now leaves a trail of leaves. Cliff of the Sentinel. Pretty sure that exists on retail and that I know it. The other thing here is there's a bunch of foods here and they don't actually tell us what they do. So I don't know if these are the new cooking recipes. But at the moment you can't consume them and they don't do anything. They're not yet got probably not even the final icons. Some of these are reused from elsewhere, but we don't know the stats of what they're going to do. So we will find out later. And we have a bunch of potions here that I cannot yet use. So we have... I'm going to buy some of those and send them through to my alt. Nice. Mastery, versatility, flask, cauldron. And what it'll give is based on specialization of the alchemist. Tempered potion, Cave Dweller's Delight, which is a health and mana potion. Not sure what the. Oh, okay. Did it not let me buy those? Oh, there. Okay. That's an interesting one. Fixate on your enemy target within 40 yards to increase your damage dealt to them by 2 to 5% based on item quality. Lasts for 20 seconds. So, possibly good on a boss fight. Single target to get a 2 to 5% increase in damage against them. I don't know why you would use that. Because if it shares a cooldown with other potions... Yeah. I don't know why you would use that. It might be really situational for a particular encounter or secret or something where you have to cover a certain distance within a certain amount of time. Stealth detection in PvP. I mean, that might be a PvP one for a capture the flag, but you wouldn't want to be hit. It's a tank potion. Yeah. Drink 2. Inspiration rework mechanic. Presumably if you're doing a bunch of crafting, that would be useful. Again, crafting. Not quite sure yet what the summer or winter resourcefulness is. Guess we will find out. What else have we got here while we're having a look? We had a look at him. We have a bunch of crafting reagents, but they don't necessarily tell us what they do as yet. So I'm going to send some of these potions / flasks off to my alt, and then I'm going to stop this character and we'll go look at some alchemy crafting. So we will log off this character, log on to another one, and have a look at alchemy and inscription, which are the 2 crafts I have on my Druid main on live. I'm considering creating another bounce on the slime without touching the ground for a slime to get okay. I don't currently have the cloaks of cooperation because I don't have a leveled guild to be able to buy them. which gives me a quick port back to Stormwind. But what I can do is I have my Dalaran Hearthstone, which lets me bounce around just a little bit with a couple of steps. So bear with us.
Greetings. It is fortunate I found you. Your presence is required.
I haven't really set up the cat bars yet. I just have my speed and my stealth, which are the main things that I use on cat anyway. Most of the time I rarely do much else but into the trade district. Let's go talk to the traders. So let's have a look at alchemy.
May the eternal sun shine
Just
upon
going to super quickly give myself some more cash. I'm going to have to get rid of this gear, but that's okay. We can do that. Also collect our mail. First things first, let's we'll unlock the appearance. So let's have a look at what the Spelunker's set looks like. Oh, there was no cloak. That's what the crafted gear looks like. Let's not apply that because I like the appearance that I have. Alright. We're just going to quickly sell all the stuff that we don't need. Some of the stuff I'm going to have to manually delete because only some of the stuff is sellable, which is a little annoying.
Good fortune to our friends.
That is light cloak. That should give me speed. Alright, now let's get rid of, this is just going to take a minute. And then we'll have a look at alchemy and inscription.
need something.
So the reason I have a bag full of junk is because I wanted some more cash. The box of useful items for testing purposes. You don't get to choose what stuff it gives you, and for each time you use it, it gives you 10,000 gold, which if I was messing around with the black market auction house would be nothing, but for purposes of the traders here, it'll be plenty because most things are super cheap. We will have a look and see if the auction house is active, but I suspect that people will be charging stupid amounts of money because they usually do on beta. So you'll see people putting herbs up for, 5,000 gold per herb and stupid prices like that. I don't know why they do that. It's not real money. It's not money that carries over to live. All it does is prevents people from actually buying the stuff that they're trying to sell, unless they're trying to transfer money between characters, which doesn't make sense either. You could, if you had the patience, just sit there and use the box of useful things over and over and over and delete all the stuff you can't sell until you had as much money as you wanted. It would be a very frustrating exercise of no real value other than to repeatedly use your items. Alright, so we have learned alchemy. Let's learn inscription. Okay. Let's learn alchemy and inscription. At some point with inscription, we're going to need to learn milling, but we will need some herbs first for both of these. So we had the herbitor. Let's fill up on herbs. So we will take 500 of those. We will take 5,000. Interesting. Where did it put the other ones before? We will grab three stacks of each of these. We'll grab another 3 stacks of those because that is the common herb, therefore I expect it to be used in more things. So in previous expansions, you could set mill as a keybind, and you would then select mill and then mouse over the item you wanted to mill. Now you do it through the crafting interface and you select what you're going to craft. Through that interface instead. I'm sure there are going to be reagents I need from other crafters, but we'll work this out. Alright, let's have a look at, so we have an alchemy bench of sorts here, but let's have a look at what we've got. So, wild experimentation. Created a catalyst. Select an item to salvage. So it looks like we have to pick a herb. Let's pick that. Now experimentation on the previous expansion, when I took damage like that and got blown back. So yes, I learned something, but it put experimentation on cooldown last time. I noticed I took a bunch of damage, so I could explode and die here. Oh. That's got a cooldown. Let's eat something. Get some health back. I probably could also heal. So I didn't blow up that time, which is nice. And we'll spend a concentration again. So it looks like we're going to have materials in order to experiment. And I exploded again. What did I learn? I didn't learn anything because I blew up. Right. So let's try that again. Concentrate. Not do that yet. Because I have a debuff. So recent catastrophe, I have to wait 15 minutes. There was a thing you could get last time which would remove that debuff from you, and you have to use it and spend it. Did I get anything that this does that? Not that I can see. So let's have, and I haven't learned enough points there, but I've maybe gotten far enough that I can learn another recipe. So let's have a look. Nope, everything's going to be via, looks like everything's via experimentation. So we'll have a look at inscription while we wait. So milling. Have a bunch of unlearnt stuff here. We'll concentrate, select item to salvage. We'll salvage a stack of mycobloom. Getting some points from the milling, which is nice. It's still yellow. Milling generally runs out pretty quickly. It's gone green at 12 points. We're going to let it run past green because we want the materials. And in fact, we're going to mill some stacks of other things. So one of the things that makes inscription so slow as a profession is the milling and the making of inks. You need to do a bunch of stuff, and it's possible that there's another reagent that we need for the inks that we haven't seen yet. There are enchants that you can get to speed up your crafting, which if you're a scribe is hugely useful because it speeds up milling and blending inks. It's one of the few professions that has 2 levels of reagent making before you can actually make items, and it gets a bit frustrating. It's still not actually spending concentration, even though it's giving me concentration. So it's locked at 20 points. We need to get to 25 to begin specialisation, but we have unlocked recrafting. The inks are likely to give us some points, which is going to be nice. And it's probable that the trainer will teach us the inks when we check, but we will finish doing some salvage first. We will salvage some of each herb type. Apologies, this is going to be slow. While that's going on, we'll have a look and see if we can learn some stuff. We're going to need different pigment types in order to make different inks. So this is just slow. If you look over here, you'll see that I'm starting to get some better quality pigments popping up. So we have some rank 1 and some rank 2s appearing. As we get better at this and skill up, we'll be creating things at a higher level. And this is where you get to experience the tedium of being a scribe. It's likely when we start making inks that we'll get some skill ups out of that. Actually feels slightly faster than the previous expansions. Milling, I'm hoping that as you skill up you'll get faster at it, but it is a very tedious exercise. If you notice, we can now make shadow inks. The pigment that this is creating is allowing us to make them, and it's an exercise in unlocking the different recipes, which is why we're going to mill some of each type as we go along, so that as we get further in we have access to the materials that we need. I know this is a tedious thing. on live, I generally get up and walk away while I'm milling. I set it to mill a whole bunch and then wander off. Woohoo! According to Blizzard, I've been allowed into the alpha. I didn't know that. Not true. I did. I've been in for a day and a bit now. But I just got the email. So I believe there was one primary herb and one common herb and four higher grade herbs. What I would expect is that one of them will create potentially a blue pigment, but we will find out. Now we've done Myco Bloom. Oh, maybe there was only 3 other herbs. We will find out. And you can see down here that I'm starting to be able to create apricot ink once I learn it. So we will finish milling this stack and then we'll make some inks and then we'll see what else we can learn, because these other recipes are going to require inks to make them. So we have, by the look of it, a multicolour pigment, a yellow pigment, a red pigment and a blue pigment, RGB. Oh, sorry, not RGB, red, yellow, blue. And then this neutral pigment. So I bought herbs at the max value. As a general rule, the better the quality of the material, it increases the potential quality of the output. I'm obviously very low skilled at the moment. On retail, you're probably going to only have access to low grade materials initially. I'm not sure how big a difference it's going to give you when you're milling and making inks initially, but the quality of the inks makes a huge difference later on to the chances of making higher quality items. So we'll make, let's make that's not going to overlap, or is it? Let's that not giving me create all. I'm missing one or more. No, I'm not.
What room is it?
Okay. That's a bit annoying. We're not going to be able to level further on this because it's not noticing that I have the reagents. How annoying, how annoying. So let's have a quick look through the spell book as to what we've got. So recraft is the same mechanic as previously. It lets you recraft a crafted item to a higher quality. Shadow ink we can't make at the minute. Boundless Cipher. crafting reagent. Also a crafting reagent. Profession equipment. Cooking. Alchemist mixing rod, which is from the previous expansion. Lightweight scribe's quill is a inscription equipment item, also from the previous expansion. For some reason it requires cooking. So one's okay. Requires cooking, that's fine. Not so much. Requires alchemy. Okay. So let's have a look over here. We have that is a staff made by inscription, blue star 306. A offhand, another staff, better quality ink, the blue ink. What's that making? A crafting reagent, does something. So these normally give stats, and I could look it up from live as to what the stat mix is. I'm pretty sure Fever Flare is haste and mastery. So that might be, or that might be crit and haste. Fire Flash, I think, is crit and, that might be crit and haste, and that might be crit and mastery and crit and haste. Harmonious, I think, is mastery and can't remember, that's haste and something, that's mastery and something, and that is crit and something, whatever the fourth stat is. It's crit, haste, versatility, that's one. Alright, so they're the recipes it's showing there. What have we got down here? So we've got mysteries. So these are the Dark Moon cards. These will be unlocked by the specializations. Dark Moon cards. Dark Moon sigils. Used on a Dark Moon deck by the look of it. Again, these will be unlocked by specialization. Weapons. Makes an offhand. Two-hand staff. Staff. Offhand. These ones we looked at from the recipes before. So these ones will be unlocked via specialization. Contracts are usually unlocked via rep. You buy the recipe, and these give you increased reputation. So we have the artisans again. Okay. I'm wondering if the artisan contract that we already have will be the same, or whether there'll be a new one. Missives. So as we said before, these are the missives that give you secondary stats when you use them. When crafting weapons usually, or armor, that they give you bonus stats. These are profession-based stats used on the profession items. So improve the quality of the profession item. Profession equipment that we're going to be able to make. So rolling pin requires cooking. So they're not implemented yet. The treaties give you bonus skill points for, you can use one per week, and you generally get them via the crafting order system, and they give you one bonus point per profession that you use it for. So they're each of the primary professions. Then we have Vantis runes. Vantis runes, generally you get the recipe as a drop from a boss at random during the raid, and then you skill it up. Miner's Rune of Deciphering. I don't know what this is yet. It says it is used for Kaz Algar mining, so it should really be a profession item. Competitors' crafts. These appear to be PvP trinkets. So that's what we've got in Inscription. Let's have a look at the unlearned recipes in Alchemy. And then I will stop this stream and have a short break and then start a new one leveling again on the Druid. So we have Thaumaturgy, which is, I don't know, it requires the Alchemist Stone. Philosopher's Stone. So Philosopher's Stone is a variant of an Alchemist Stone, which is an object that is crafted by alchemists and you generally have in your bags as an alchemist. There's been a new one at each expansion. Often they give you the ability to increase the duration of potions or flasks. Plus, they sometimes are required in your bag for other items such as transmutations. So this seems to be a transmutation. Attempt to perform a miracle with 20 materials of your choosing. So we choose a herb by the look of it, or crafting reagent, and then this technique may yield new discoveries but is highly destructive. Formulated courage. So this is the recipe that allows you to continue to do experimentation. I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like you learn it via experimentation as well, because there's no way of learning it at the minute. I don't know what that does. We don't know what the crafting reagents do yet. Basic concoctions. Increases mana. Requires focus. Restores mana and health. Restores mana. So the potions that I could buy off the vendor are ones that will be crafted by the alchemists going forward. Having a quick look at them. Some of them are pretty standard. So invisibility potions are generally level locked. So you need to be a minimum or maximum level in order to use certain invisibility potions, and it's to stop people from keeping ones from previous expansions and continuing to use them in new expansions. That's the one I picked up for this character to trial. Flask. So flasks generally persist through death. Potions generally do not. In Dragonflight, flasks were called phials for some reason. Flasks also generally have a longer duration. These ones are an hour, whereas the phials were 30 minutes. So it's interesting that they've gone back to an hour. But again, like the previous expansion, recipes will be learnt via experimentation, which means it will be the luck of the draw whether you get a wanted flask recipe early on. One of the things that we found, we do have files. They only last 30 minutes. The files all seem to be related to crafting. So maybe you use it and then you do your crafting. I wonder if they're exclusive to flasks, because generally you can only have one flask active at a time. We have some transmutations. So transmutations generally let you create materials or change materials from one to another. So the epic ones are generally a requirement for other. So see, you need a philosopher's stone in order to craft this. And normally transmutations have a 1-day cooldown on them, and you have to choose which one you're going to use. You can only do one transmute at a time generally. So often if you need a particular transmutation for a recipe, so say the blasphemy that was in there somewhere. Gleaming Glory. Spell today. That's got the right, that doesn't have the right name either. We're going to check all of these. Called they're all wrong. This is just going to take a minute or so. This is why you check stuff in beta, so that by the time it gets to live, it's been corrected. So I'm going to talk and type at the same time. Part of the social contract of being in alpha is if you find a problem, you report it. I will put a note on the forums that most of them are wrong. Alright, so that's the Alchemist Stone. This will take the form of the Philosopher's Stone. It's considered a Philosopher's Stone, and it's a trinket. So often for alchemists early on, you will use the Alchemist Stone of that level as your trinket. Having it in your bags generally increases duration of alchemy crafted goods. In this one, it increases your stats as the primary on-use effect or equipped effect. We have Harmonious Horticulture. So that was one of the materials we crafted up here. Is required for the cauldron. The cauldrons are something that's usually a raid consumable that lets all of the raiders pull flasks, and the flasks that are on offer are based on the flasks that the person who made the cauldron knows. Potions are the same. So again, we need Harmonious Horticulture to make the potions, and then depending on the potions that you know how to make, it will give the person who grabs them the choice of which one they want, and then they choose based on potions that are known to the crafter of the cauldron. Cauldron recipes in the last expansion were drops and super frustrating to get. They weren't discoveries. And generally it was a fair way into the expansion before we saw them. But I am going to take a break now, go have something to eat. It is lunchtime here, and then we will come back and do some exploring. I'm going to port back so that while I'm on the break, the cooldown on my Hearthstone can tick down in case I want to come back again. But hopefully these are useful. I'll certainly go back and have a look at them later while raising bug reports on the forums and while writing up user guides at a later date. So I write for Blizzard Watch. I write quite a few user guides, often on secrets and exploring and professions, and I tend to write a lot of pet stuff, so we will have a look at some of that later. Add-ons aren't currently available, which makes it a little tricky for me as a pet collector, because a lot of my pet management is done using add-ons. I may also need to do an account copy so that I have all my pets available to me. But thanks for watching, and we'll be back later.